Welcome everyone to this special event and webinar, late to 2024. And first I want to introduce our CEO and co-founder, Joshua. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey everyone, good to meet everyone. So my name is Joshua Xu. I'm co-founder and CEO of HeyGen. Excited to kick this off.
100%. Where have you been would be the question, but it is so good to have you back on a public webinar here at HeyGen, and it's a special one because it's not like the old flow we started in 24. We have a community hub now, so it's a special first all hands community event, and I thought it was a perfect timing to talk today about what happened at HeyGen in 24, but also, and this is for sure the most curious topic for everyone, what will happen in 25? What is already written down in the books? What will be the futures, the improvements? What is the, not just mission, but also where we want to place ourselves in the market, in the industry? And we actually, our team prepared a slide deck. So we will go through each month, and we will end for sure with the preview for 25. So I think if you do not want to share anything right now, I think we could just go ahead, be efficient, and deliver content. What do you think?
Yeah, I think sounds good.
Perfect. So as I mentioned, this is the agenda, and we started for sure in January. In January, Joshua, we started with a feature that is actually has a significant impact for our AI studio, because for everyone who was an early adopter of HeyGen, they know the pain we had before in our AI studio. So we actually enabled the multi-track timeline, like our AI Studio V3, to give each creator more possibility to create more stunning videos within HeyGen. Do you have a take to this?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So, that was the initial AI Studio release where we can support, multi-track timeline, the very first time. And really, I think has been putting a lot of effort in order to develop this version. So I think that was one thing we add to the avatar A roll. So allowing a lot of customers to starting developing a lot of B roll and transition and caption things like that on the canvas.
Exactly, and this was also I would say add-on, a feature, an update that we actually developed with our community, with our clients together. Because again, HeyGen is not just built in a blind way that we think this is the best way to go. We are also listening to all the feedbacks. This is why we want to grow the community. We want to have our own community where we can really get more information from our active, heavily users, what we have to and should improve. Also in January happened actually the most viral post for HeyGen itself by using video translation. It was the Miley speech, the Argentine president in Davos. And we also got this repost from Elon Musk. So why we actually added this in January is not just because it is Elon Musk or the president of Argentina. It is more that you have to understand that this tool, video translation, is such a good way to translate your videos. Because for me, it is still the past. Like subtitles, just audio dubbing, it is okay. But you will get a better version, like a more impressive version, if you use our video translation to actually translate also the content with lip synchronization. Joshua, I remember when we had this, we were really like not happy because, like, again, of the person who was sharing this, but how viral this was, like what kind of significant impact that has on X, but also on LinkedIn. And yeah, it was just I think a great moment. So we actually put this in January.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. So I still remember around that. I mean, we initially rolled out video translation back in 2023. I think sometime in September. And yeah, initially we got a lot of customer coming to the site to try it out, and then later on, I think this post was posted by Aaron. I think Aaron was one of the early customer there, and yeah, I think January is another time that lots of other people are aware of the video translation feature we had. And it is so fantastic to see that it really break the language barrier for a lot of people, for a lot of people online to be able to watch the content in the native language in English format. Yeah, I mean that was definitely something's amazing. Yeah.
We will go there for like the future list for video translation in the full like year, because we had a lot of improvements there. But yeah, it's a very impactful tool that everyone should really try. So January, that's good. Now we will go to February. February, we had actually our headquarter ready in Los Angeles. And this is also like one step for us as a company where we can just like say this is our first big headquarter in Los Angeles. I can also remember how it was back in the days. Also a special moment for us as HeyGen. And if we already see like what happened within the year, it is just an amazing feeling. Do you want to share your thoughts about this?
So yeah, I mean, nothing really about this particular point. I think, but I do want to call out the video translation proofread was a bit launched, I think, at that time. And I think the story behind the proofread was that, when we initially rolled out video translation, there's really no way you can edit the content. And we didn't expect that, to be honest. I think the real story behind the feature about video translation was that it only took us about 2 weeks to develop the initial version, and we did not we didn't think about it could go this viral at that point. But really, I think we received lots of customer feedback. Especially for the localization teams, they want to have a way to really edit edit the video, edit the script. And it took us a couple of months to get the initial version out, and we support a bunch of other features such as the batch upload, and multilingual, and also we would allow especially some of the customer at that time to be able to like upload the video spec, download the SRT file, things like that. Yeah, so making the whole workflow more streamlined for a lot of our localization teams. Yeah.
Yeah, efficient in multi languages. This was available in February with our video translation. We also had a big development for the proofread over like the month, but also with the feedback actually from our clients. So such a great moment. In February, we also for sure have like some viral posts. I just wanted to point out here. We went, to actually the Times Square, just like a funny side note. But we also like saw that we can have big like campaigns on the marketing side with this campaign, especially with Ogilvy and also Milka for the Dutch rapper to make like an AI campaign here. One of the first movers, I would say, worldwide. Like Ogilvy is such a great partner to work with around the world, to be honest. We could also see that even journalists, reporters like Larry from CNN are using our technology to actually help to translate content, to not just like, to share content, not just in your own language, also for other like countries or other nationalities. So again, video translation, such a powerful tool. In March, we launched personal videos. Joshua, what is personalized videos, and what was actually the idea behind this back in March?
Yeah, I think personalized video is something that, let me put it this way. Like before this feature, I think there were lots of customers already using the Zapier integration or the API integration. And, when we realized that we just want to make it easier for people who wanted to give it a try, and especially enabling the workflow with a CSV upload, or when they have a CRM system to be integrated and want to connect their email system over there. And that was the original idea. We just want to bring in some of the workflow functionality on HeyGen. Yeah. So and I think it was probably somewhere around March that we officially roll out that, and you can record a video, and then that video essentially is an avatar to enable in the back as a technology, and then you can upload CSV to send a bunch of personalized video to your customers.
We saw a lot of use cases, not just like for internally from companies, also like from really reach out to clients, but also for marketing campaigns. So also very, very interesting product, and you should really like test this out. If we also had actually this launch with Motion Avatar in March, the funny side note here about this is that this feature is more heavy use than everyone was expected in first try, because people have so much fun to not like just create a static avatar. We actually enabled something that you have the possibility to be even more free. Like you could walk, you could actually create a story, you could ride a bicycle if you want to. We had the first drone motion avatar. So a lot of like more creativity input that you could generate and more content in this motion avatar way. In March, I really want to point out, because this was also important, like the viral post here, we had this really good and also impactful like message from Kip, like from HubSpot. We will talk later about the HubSpot inbound, but he was also like using our HeyGen technology, and he's also saying like, okay, it's 4 times cheaper and faster than the status quo right now. We had and worked with Salesforce together, who used our technology. We also went to like for all the Europe markets and the DACH market, like to ORF, like the biggest TV channel, and they also spoke about HeyGen in the future about translation. In April, we had our first office in Palo Alto. And here is one more thing I want to point out about the video translation. We enabled 150 locals, because we had the feedback, hey, it is cool to have Spanish, but I want to decide if it's a Spanish Mexican accent or like a Spanish accent, or any type of other. And we enabled this, and we also had the new feature URL to UGC. What is your take on this, Joshua?
Yeah, so that was very similar to personalized video. This was one of the big feature coming out from the HeyGen labs, and the idea was that again we were already seeing a lot of customers doing that on their own, basically trying to scrape the content and image asset from a URL, usually an e-commerce product, that then they put it into HeyGen Studio to edit the video. And we thought that, all right, so we would just make it easier for a lot of customers. And we also put in some of the UGC style avatar, which is like more vertical, more casual. It's like, the social media content format. Yeah.
Yeah, we also launched 50 new ones on our webpage. So if you want to test this out, please go ahead. And we also will face an improvement in 25 around the topic, I would say UGC, but ads, avatars at all. So stay tuned. But we already have a good actually path for this. In May, we opened the Toronto office in Canada, and we also launched the feature Instant Highlights. Instant Highlights, why we did this, Joshua?
Yeah. Again, I think Instant Highlights, another feature coming out from the labs, HeyGen labs. The key idea is that it is sort of like think about the whole video workflow, right? And the whole life cycle started with camera filming, and I think our idea is to replace that with avatar, and then go into editing. We have AI Studio to do that. We have the URL to ads or things like that to really help to make it easier to create a video. And then obviously the next thing is that once you create a video, you want to distribute that. And you can either distribute it using personalized video and send it over email to your customer, or there's another way to distribute it is on different social media platforms. And usually when we talk about social format, you kind of need a little bit special format for, let's say, Instagram story. You need another one for YouTube Shorts. You might need another one for TikTok. And the caption style usually are quite different. And sometimes we want to post out some of the preview just for 15 seconds of the whole video. And let's say your whole videos, your full video is like 3 minutes or 10 minutes. And I think this feature allow us to like really, hone into the different format, different variants before we actually distribute that to social media. And again, this is just a part of the, the last piece of the life cycle. Yeah.
And a lot of actually also big logos and big enterprise customers are using this feature. So it's good to see. In June, I think one of our bigger moments definitely this year was our like Series A. I would love to hear you out. What was this for a moment at this time, and what it actually means to HeyGen?
Definitely a great milestone for us to demonstrate the value of the business. And I think we built a great team, and it was great to partner with Benchmark to continue the journey. And it was a very exciting time. I think we got definitely more funding, continue to invest in our fundamental, foundational model, and also in the product. So that was a moment that we just get level up a little bit more and continue to explore the journey.
Yeah, was a really great moment for all of us. Also very, very impactful for us in June, actually. We did the campaign with the IW Group and for the McDonald's campaign, for the Grandma McFlurry, where McDonald's and the IW Group work together and use HeyGen technology to create a stunning campaign, very cute actually, and it was a heavy success for all of us. And I just wanted to point this out because I was also involved with a different colleague, KL here, and it was just an amazing time. We also worked with the Weather Network because we created like an AI Weather Network avatar for their channel. So also very creative ideas. And I really want to point this out because you can do a lot of creative things with HeyGen technology. And again, we will help you to find those type of projects. So reach out. In July, brand voice in video translation. For me, one of the biggest help for a lot of content creators, but also everyone who is in charge in their own companies for video translation proofread. It is important because it will help you to get a more accurate translation done in each language. So this was our goal, and we are still improving, still involving, still working with our clients to make it even better from week to week, but such a great feature. Do you want to tell anything about this?
Yeah, I think Burn Voice is something has been a long requested feature. Like I think in the beginning, the way how video translation work, we are using one single model on the back, and all the customer will get the same model. But the problem is that there's many businesses or brands. They have some certain brand guideline. Like example would be like different terminology about the company, about the product. Different tone. So is it a more professional tone? Is it a more playful tone? And there's some particular product name or area of terminology we should probably not try to translate. Like for example, if we put the name of HeyGen as a word there, that probably should not be translated. Even we want to have a different version in a different language. So I think brand voice is really something we develop as a layer and at a personalized layer for each of the clients. And things like you can import, now you can actually import your URL, and then we can analyze the whole website for you and then try to fill out the brand voice for you. So that really help us to boost up a lot of translation quality and accuracy out there. Yeah.
Very efficient feature. It will also reduce the time that you have to spend still on proofread for projects. So great feature. I really love this and our users as well. Then for sure, goodbye streaming avatars, welcome interactive avatars. Joshua, what is the difference in terms of technology, but also maybe user experience from, let's say, the first pipeline we had, like the streaming avatars, and now like the interactive avatars?
Yeah, so I think we got lots of feedback from customer. People just were a little bit confused about the name of a streaming avatar. And I think that was one of the major reasons we want to upgrade that, to just make it easier for people to understand. And second, we did do a major upgrade on the underlying technology stack. I think as a result of that, it's just like much faster in terms of latency, much stable than before. And also, I think we built in a lot of feature like adding a knowledge base to the avatar, so that people can really interact with some certain topic. And I think at that time we maybe also started to really kick off the work about like the meeting avatar, the Zoom integration, things like that. Yeah.
And if I already see like what we have in our pipeline for the next like not just like updates and kind of future, also like the improvements. I'm really looking forward to show this to everyone. But this is really something that will have a big impact for future businesses that nobody really can imagine so far. But this technology is such a game changer in a lot of ways. And we as HeyGen, for sure, important to improve this from time to time, but also with, for sure, the feedback around our community. And August, viral post for sure, like this a sharpshooter from Olympics, that he actually a Turkish sharpshooter who had his moment in the Olympics and went viral actually. And he, Turkish speaking, with HeyGen translated to English to make it accessible to and understandable to everyone, that not, again, subtitles or just lips is one experience. Very, very great experience, very viral post. And we also have had finally a new update on the photo avatar, expressive photo like 3.0. Why was this a very important step for us if you already looked like what we launched in the next month in case of our avatar 3.0? But why was this a very important step for us, Joshua?
So okay. Speaking about the expressive photo avatar, I think that was underlying. First of all, I think we had a very first version of photo avatar very very early on. I think probably early to 2023, I would say, and then I think at this expressive photo avatar, really I think a lot of technology got upgraded. Especially, I think one thing to call out was that the avatar motion would actually match the audio input. I think that was one of the major upgrade, and things like you could have a very dynamic motion or audio input, and then also having the expression and the head movement of the avatar to match that. So just making the whole representation about the photo avatar much more engaging and much more realistic, and that was the major upgrade. And I mean that does involve a lot of technology investment, and then we did building the foundation of that expressive model in the back, and to enable the further version of the video avatar. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was a very, very significant step for us to later develop the like real avatar, like the video avatars 3.0, but we will come this later on. August, Joshua, we changed something in our pricing. So let's talk about the unlimited pricing. And I will be very direct with you. Like, was it a failure or was it actually the right decision?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great decision to revamp the pricing, the mechanism of pricing on HeyGen. I think really the way how we can look at it is that it's less coming from the pricing perspective. I think one thing we have been trying to think about really is just to how can we make this product simpler. And I think we used to have lots of different credits, and because the fact that you can use different feature on HeyGen, you kind of like have to keep this notion of credit in every place, right? Like, for example, how much credit does it consume to actually produce instant highlight, and how much credit in order to create a bunch of personalized videos. And there's always some math calculation in the background, I think, making it really hard to understand. And I think there's one thing, the number one principle for developing HeyGen product is we want to optimize for ease of use. And if we can really if we couldn't really, explain the product in a very simple way and how to use it in a very simple way, we see that as a big issue for us. So, and as part of the effort, we did remove the concept of credits, and we want to move away from the usage-based pricing, and that was the major reason to make this update. And we imagine a world in the future, 3 to 5 years, everybody in the workspace, everybody in the company, everybody in the business will be making, more videos. And making videos should be as simple as, something like writing a document. And like, for example, when we use Google Doc today, really, there's nothing you need to worry about usage, right? You can create as many as documents as you want. And in fact, I think that was a very interesting conversation back in early days, 2000, when initially Yahoo rolled out, an email. I think that version of the email software was, limited by the storage that you had. And later on, I think the storage costs become really, really low, and Google rolled out another version of Gmail, which is like unlimited usage. So I think that's sort of like, similar, because in early days of 2000, storage cost was still a considerable factor for a company, because it was just not cheap and expensive. And I think it is true in the early days of AI. I think video, GPU, rendering, it is expensive. But we see that, at least in 2023, we see that cost of the whole GPU computation has been gone down a lot. And that will continue to be true in 2024. It will continue to be true in the next 3 to 5 years. And we just felt that, hey, this is probably not the, the long-term design about our pricing strategy. So and why don't we make it easier for our customer? I think the principle here is that if this decision is the right thing to do for the customer, it creates a value for the customer. It was always it would be always the right decision to make on the product. And yeah, so definitely a little bit, want to share a little bit the reason behind limited pricing.
Thank you so much. In September, we also changed something significant for HeyGen itself. Like I would say, in public, we changed our logo. So I don't really want to ask you, like, was it the right decision? Was it a bad decision or whatever? I just want the new logo. Like, first, why? But more like, in case of, what is the brand message with this logo, and why it was for us a necessary step to get to the next stage?
Yeah, so definitely a major upgrade to the not only the product, but also the website, also a lot of the visual system that we're using to create content ourselves. So and I think maybe I can explain a little bit about what does a new logo mean. So really, I think we evolved from the play button from the left side. If you could look at the logo from the left side, in the middle of that, it is actually a play button, right? It's just like playing the video, and we make it a solid color with purple. So, and that, kind of like is the major notion we put it on the logo at the character of H. And then you see the typography here is a little bit broken on the new logo, but that was intentional, because we want to demonstrate the idea about the whole thing is being generated, and it's demonstrate the formation of the character in a way that is being generated. So yeah, and we want to make it simpler for the logo as well, because instead of having the logo, we just want to use the typography we have as a logo, as a HeyGen here. Yeah,
we got great feedback. People are loving the new logo. So for us, it was a significant step. Thank you for explain this to us. In September now, what I was talking previous was actually then the Avatar 3.0. Like we go back from like just the photo avatar, and now we have it actually for Avatar 3.0. We have unlimited looks. I think this is also a significant feature that we did in September, and we had the HubSpot inbound. You can choose, Joshua, if you want to, but maybe you can pick one and just like explain in your own words, why is it such a big impact for HeyGen or for our users?
Yeah, so I think the Avatar 3.0 is an extension from the work we have been doing on the photo avatar. Really, having the audio match the, the expression of the generative avatar and videos. So you are actually the first 3.0 avatar that we built on HeyGen, Nick. Yeah. That was a great avatar, and really being able to match the script is a big deal, because I think one of the long-standing customer feedback from our community is that when we have this talking video, sometimes it will introduce weird movement and head nod and things like that. That was because the underlying model doesn't really understand the audio as an input. But now it is the first time we make it available on our product. So I think we are actually going to roll out the customer version for many of our customers as well.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit for Avatar 3.0. That was a very, very exciting feature. And it was a major breakthrough on the AI foundational model side. And unlimited looks is probably another thing that I would say the one of the most exciting feature I personally think. And I think initially when we introduced Avatar, each of the avatar corresponding to one footage, and then we saw customer would have like hundreds of avatars on their account, and it should become a little bit hard to manage. And I personally also have a lot of avatar on my account. And then, I think it came to me, it's just that, all right, cool. Seems like the right way to organize the avatar is not by footage. It should be by person, right? And I think we invented the way how it is, by footage. And then we are kind of like, I think with unlimited look, we're actually, disclosing what we have done and try to move it to the another format that makes more sense. And in fact, it actually makes more sense to really grouping all this avatar together. And one of the consideration there is that, first of all, you don't need to do, the consent video, over and over again. I think that's a major improvement there. You just need to consent once, because we already get all the, information to verify it is you. I think that is one big thing. And then another big thing is that you can start to bundle the voice and to really on the avatar level, right? As before, you can only bundle the voice to the look level, but you kind of need to do it over and again for different looks. And I think and something more exciting about the unlimited looks is also try to grouping the data structure together so that we can do more stuff for you. Like, for example, you might already have 4 or 5 avatars, on your account, Nick. And, one thing we could be doing is that we can enable some advanced model in the back, because we have more information and more data about that avatar model that you have. So we will be able to build another model in the back to really enable things like, hey, a dynamic background, a virtual, a virtual add-on, either a product holding on your hand, or a different outfit of yourself. All this require more footage than just like 2-minute or 3-minute footage to train the model. And then, but the thing is that if we can group your avatar together, then it really gives us the opportunity to get more footage and more training data around that. And that feature is actually coming very soon, I think, down the line. Yeah.
Yeah. This is This is why we also did a new launch of like lifelike avatars to also have this different type of looks. Because when we speak with customers and we see like what type of avatars they are now creating and how creative they are getting and how what type of impact this have, that they can create different type of videos now. Because it is not just like you can change your outfit, you could also change the position. You could sit, you can stand, you could actually have a side angle to just like even have more creative content that you can generate. So whenever you want to check this out, or you want to have this type of inspiration, like how should I place my avatar, like my own person into HeyGen or into an avatar, like please go ahead and go to the lifestyle action at HeyGen in our UI, like, and just have a look and then just try it out. And if you don't like it, delete it, create a new one. Like that's totally doable here at HeyGen, and just try it out. In November, also a milestone for us is like the HeyGen Hub. We will talk a bit later to this, so let's maybe just one or two sentences from you, Joshua, about like the new HeyGen API, because we launched this in November, and also like the HeyGen iOS mobile app. Finally, a lot of users actually were asking and requesting this really for the last 12 months, I would say, and we have it now. So yeah, what's your take on this API, or even like the iOS mobile app?
Yeah, I think on the API side, it was like historically we have been like really limiting the API access to enterprise customer only, and not necessarily because we did not want to roll out the API to broader customer audience. It was because a major consideration around the trust and safety, because we really want to make sure that we have the right trust and safety mechanism implemented on the platform, on our own platform first, and before we really open it up for broader access to other developers. And I think the API product rollout was a major upgrade on the trust and safety system, that when we actually serve the API to more customers, we have the mechanism to making sure that to implement our moderation policy, and as well as after consent, to making sure things are being on the right track. iOS app, very interesting. So I think lots of lots of customer are creating the kind of the vertical format on HeyGen anyway, and we felt that we want to make it easier for those people, especially for the content creator, so that they can actually just create videos, create avatars on the mobile phone. Like in fact, for the mobile native customer, creating avatar from mobile app is actually a much easier process for them. They don't need to open up a desktop. They can just do it right away from the mobile app. But think about how those can be done in the past, right? People have to like record a footage on the phone and then do the upload on the desktop, and then create another video on the desktop, and then upload it to the phone again to do some editing. And now the whole process will be streamlined on the mobile app itself.
Yeah, please go to the App Store, download, test it out, log in with your normal like HeyGen account mail, and then let us know if you have feedback, how to improve this. Please reach out to us, and our team will take care of this. In November, also, we had a new feature called Generate Looks, like prompt videos of yourself, or even like just started by a prompt to create a character. What an improvement, not just like overall, like for HeyGen, but for the market itself, and also for the potential use cases here, because you can upload images from yourself and just like train your like face, and then whatever type of prompt you have in mind and you want to see your avatar in different type of outfits or positions or like situations, you could now go ahead and do this with Generate Looks. And the same if you don't even have a character, you don't want to use your own images, you could go ahead and just like prompt it by your own with our like workflow, and you will create like an AI character here. Any take on this, or should we move on?
No, I think again, this is actually something very, very exciting on the
Yeah.
generative blog, and I, you know, um, in fact, we actually roll out. I think Nick and I was on the call yesterday. We roll out 500 generative avatar on the platform yesterday, and please check it out. And that really increase the different variety and also different offering for each vertical industry. And now we can also design out your own avatar and generate the look with a different outfit and different background. Yeah, so I think the vision here is that once we actually have a couple footage from you, we would want you to be able to like generate a new footage about yourself. Let's say I might want to have a avatar of me wearing the Christmas outfit, and I want to send a
Yeah.
holiday message to the customer, and I can easily do that using generative looks, and that is the ultimate version of what it would look like for the future.
Such an amazing and also such a fun tool, for sure. Serious use cases. We already have a lot of like talks with clients who are using this for serious like marketing campaigns, but also for fun sometimes. As you said, like upload photos from yourself, put yourself actually in a Santa Claus outfit, and just send it to your family and friends. This is also doable. December, as you already mentioned, like please go ahead to our interface and to the avatar section, and then you will see from today on an AI generated, we will have 500 AI generated avatars that you can use, and we have a lot of actually feature updates in the next like weeks for you that you could also like for sure use these avatars, create different outfits. Everything is actually available at HeyGen. We also kicked off our HeyGen agency program. Joshua, let me ask you a quick question. Like, what is the real difference between like to work with an agency together, like compared to like an end enterprise or like end user?
Yeah, I think first of all, I think agencies customer is an important partner of our ecosystem, and there's many agency customers is really helping our end customers to realize a bigger value, like things like helping them to take the footage, helping them to organize the shoot in real life, and helping people to manage their account and create avatar videos, create content campaigns, things like that. So unlike the traditional enterprise offering, agency program offering really enable one key thing, which is the children and parent account access. So as an agency customer, you will be able to get access to that feature, and you will be able to manage many accounts. And in fact, we just want to make it easier. The children and parent account is free as long as you are a qualified agency, so that you can start to leverage HeyGen to build avatar for this client on this account, and then on another subspace, you can create another avatar for the other clients. And I think one of the key workflow pain point over here is that agencies usually don't get the contract signed directly, and in reality, you need to actually produce the avatar and share the demo and communicate with the client. And so, as before, people have to commit to enterprise plan first before you actually close the contract. But now we just make it very simple, so you can actually start, building the sub account, building the avatar before you actually sign the contract. And with the capability around the subspace, you can create as many as POC as you want on that agency program. Yeah.
Awesome. I think such a great great strategy idea from us. And it's such a pleasure to work with all the agencies around the world to make something happen. And it's just a really, really exciting project. Okay, so that was 24. Joshua, let's talk about 25. What to expect from HeyGen in 25. So I will just go through here and show like the points I had in mind. But yeah, maybe you can go through and tell us like improvements we want to make. Like, do we already have fixed launches for 25? Hiring is still a very important topic for us as HeyGen to grow, to make more things happen. So please give us a bit more information, pick us up, like what is coming next for HeyGen in 25?
Yeah. So first of all, I think the major focus will continue to be the quality of the avatar, and we chat about it a lot. But I think one of the major improvement needs to be happen. Like actually, is the gesture control. That's just something very important to produce a more engaging videos, and that's one. Another thing is actually roll out the Avatar 3.0 to broader customer set. I think we can only do it for some certain, we only enable that for some certain enterprise customer today, but we really want to open that 3.0 capability to everybody who are creating Avatar, so that we can have, the expression and the audio to match together. And that's a big one. And another big thing, I want to touch a little bit on the second piece as well. Is that we are actually developing a new studio, a new editor. It's a test-based, because I think we really concentrate and focus on producing better talking videos on HeyGen, right? When we talk about talking videos, we felt that timeline editing is not the most natural way to edit. And in fact, when we talk about talking video, you always have a script. And, so that why don't we just use the script as the timeline editing? So I think timeline editor is another thing that we are, sorry, not timeline editor, test-based editor is something that we are actively working on. And we will be able to, with a new test-based editor, that will be a major revamp on the the B-roll and the editing piece, where you can actually design the animation around each word, and which makes more sense. For example, when I finish this sentence, I want this animation of the image to come out to the screen. And it was relatively hard to do it on the timeline-based editor, but that would be something that's a major update. And sort of like you can think about HeyGen like this, right? We started with generating the A roll, which is the footage. Some people would still go to some other software to edit the video, and so that it's kind of a gap over there. But we want to create the end-to-end experience for customer, not only the A roll footage, but also editing the video end-to-end. So with that said, once we actually enable a great experience on the B-roll, on the editing side, we can do many interesting stuff, like things like you can easily upload a PDF, upload a URL to us, and then we can create the end-to-end video for you. Not only one version, we can create multiple version for you, and then you can just pick up the one that you like. And I think with integration about the brand AI, we can actually automatically using AI to apply those brand elements, things like different color, different fonts, different animation, different opening, different ending, right? All this can be baked into together in the whole new editing experience. But as before, it was really hard to do, because because we have to jump back and forth between HeyGen and other videos editing software to kind of do that. But now you can do it all at once on HeyGen. So I think we have been really thinking about what the life cycle for creation life cycle for video look like, and many interesting case around with purpose engine. And when you create one video, or you actually creating, a spec as a document about the product launches in a document format. We can repurpose that document format into video, right? Like for example, you can just paste a URL from a blog post, or you just attach a document from Google Doc, and then because we already have your avatar, we also have your brand kit set up. We know, the different elements around, the company, the business, and we also have your brand tone. We know your brand voice. It is actually very, very doable to just turn a document into an end-to-end video. And again, not only one, but also we can repurpose that with the instant highlight. You can have a different version distributed to the social media. Yeah, so I think there's a lots of exciting feature coming down. In fact, not only for the entire 2025, it's actually will be covered in the first quarter of 2025. Yeah. So, and a little bit on hiring, I think we are expanding the team. Definitely need more people and more talent to join us to make this mission happen. Again, I think we've been talking about to the candidate that we are on a decade-long journey, and this mission is very, very challenging, but it is critical. If anybody from the community are interested in joining us, let us know. So I think go to career.heygen.com. You will be able to find the different opening from our team.
Yeah. And we have such great stories. I will not go to all of them, but you can really start somewhere and you can just develop yourself and get even like a leader position, or like become something else you don't even know when you start with HeyGen. There is so much movement in HeyGen, and join us. Send us your application, reach out to us, ask us questions, like even on LinkedIn. It's totally fine. We will give you feedback, and then hopefully we will see you one day here at HeyGen. But yes, we will need you. 4 and 5. What is your biggest controversial or like bet at all in 25? It could be a question about HeyGen itself, but also like about the AI video market itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can speak about one thing about the recent launch of let's say text to video model like Sora, and how do we what's our point of view for that? And I think I share in previous conversation is that it's really about how we are thinking about to solve the problem of solving the video generation problem for businesses, right? So there essentially are two technical paths to solve that problem, in my opinion. One is that you develop a text to video model and try to render the video end to end, and try to render the entire video pixel by pixel, and that's one. The second approach is to build, a system where you first of all you break down what is inside the video, like A-roll, B-roll, music, audio, transition, video structure, things like that. And then we try to build an AI generator for each one of the components. And then you can have an orchestration engine on the top to really assemble them together. I mean, obviously, HeyGen is like taking the second part, because we think, especially in the business context, what are the important factors are, quality, control, and consistency. And we felt that, the second approach gives us more lever to really optimize for these three for the business customers. Like I give one example is that there would be some certain element we should never try to generate, right? A logo of a company, the fonts of a company, and a customer always wanted to, even though we generate the video structure for them, they would always want to make some fine tuning, like things like, oh, how about we make this image a little bit bigger, make this text a little bit smaller, things like that. And those are the interaction that's extremely hard to do on the text to video model today. But it would be much easier if we have the orchestration engine and then expose that interface for user. So that would be probably something our point of view, and we will continue to go for that route to enable the kind of like the orchestration engine in the back and enable the experience on the editor for our customers. Yeah.
Great. The last point I mentioned is, for me, still one of the most exciting, like I would say, the wording itself you ever mentioned in one of our previous, like very early actually, all hands here at HeyGen. It was like real-time video creation. I think how I was thinking at the first place was really like, okay, let's say we will put all the assets in place. Okay, we will like generate a video for me. And then let's say you have the final video, and here start real-time video creation. We put like the full video in frames, and now you can start to, let's say, prompt, not just like manually editing. We are not talking, this is manually, like we are an AI company. So what, for my first point was like, I was so excited because I was just like, hey, maybe I can just prompt like, hey, change the background. I don't like the color, like just like with really direct prompts. But this is what I was thinking since then. But maybe you can just like give your thoughts when you mentioned actually this real-time video creation.
Yeah, sure. I think first of all, I think real-time video generation or creation will be something very close, I think, in the next 1 or 2 years. As long as we get the model, running fast enough, that will be something that's possible. And in fact, we already see some real-time video generation model in the market for lower fidelity, right? And I mean, another thing is that interactive avatar is actually one example of that. So you can interact with the avatar in real time. And I think what makes me most exciting about real time capability is not only the creation, but actually the consumption. And what I meant by that is, historically, a video, it is defined by the MP4 format. When you have the MP4 format of the video, that means naturally just like immutable, right? You cannot really change anything on the video side. When we actually look at the watch the social media, and when we watch the same video, it will be the same video. But the thing is that it doesn't need to be the same if you can actually create a video on real time, and it could be highly personalized. Like, let's say, Nick, you and I are watching the same ads from a particular brand. You could be watching a version that tailored to the Toronto audience.
Exactly.
I could be watching another one tailored to the Los Angeles audience, things like that. And when that real-time creation become possible, I think the consumption will become highly personalized, and or the audience can interact with the content, right? So I think that's what's even more exciting, is that like when we watch a video, it is a one-way communication. But when you can actually interact with the video, and I give one example is that, hey, why don't you open that door? I want to see what's inside that, and things like that. I want to see if you actually put your product into use on the other way. What does that look like, and things like that. This is usually actually a question, some questions, as a consumer, I might have when I watch the video, but I have no way to get those answers. I have to search online to, watch other people's review, but that could actually be something that's possible down the line. And yeah, I think that is going to be, we're inventing the format from MP4 to be dynamic generated format, and that could be enabling the a vast personalization in the video industry.
Yeah, and for sure, maybe one more thing to add, because I know this for a lot of calls I did this year. Yes, let's say video or like live translation with lip synchronization, for sure. This is also actually a part of this 0.5. So yeah, we are really looking forward for the future and really what we could create in the next run. So it is just cool. Last thing before we end up here this webinar with you, Joshua, is the HeyGen Community Hub. We launched it in November, and now we actually did also like our first event in Los Angeles. So maybe just in your own words, introduce like the community hub, and because this video is also in like our community hub, just like with your own like words, what it means to us, but also what type of place is it for everyone?
Yeah, so it was very excited to launch our first in real life community event last week in LA. So it was great to see everybody in real life and get to know each other. I always talk to when I talk to Alison and RJ, and I was telling them that the way how I see community is like building a community is like building the product. I don't see community as a marketing effort or a go-to-market effort. In my opinion, I see community is strictly the product we want to build. And in fact, I think the community product itself might be actually more important than the HeyGen product itself in some sense, right? And because that, we wanted to enable the future. We want to enable the new audience to be able to create a video and create a content. And community is the way for these people to communicate with it, to interact with each other, to learn from each other. So yeah, I think we're gonna have some very exciting, initiative in 2025 about building a community, and I will also be attending more community event, talking to more community members, and yeah, I think those feedback coming from community are great. I think another thing about when I look at community, it's really a testimony about the value we are creating for the customers. And it was great to actually having so many customers joining us and believing the product we are building and want to learn more about the product and help together to shape what a video creation would look like for the future. Yeah,
it was such a great event, but also like what type of like inspiration and like this really like love everyone was sharing. Like it was really a very, very good first event. We will not just have it in Los Angeles, we will have it really like worldwide, but for sure, we have to do it step by step. But it's an exciting, not just project, like it is really like the right step for HeyGen to put everyone together and do like the working on the right things together as a team. Yeah, so before we actually end up this, I just want to share, because we prepared something for all of you. If you go to our HeyGen hub now, so it's just like community.heygen.com home, you can for sure like log in, sign up, you can go to the events, and if you click on our events, you will now see actually that we have prepared something for you. So after this webinar, we will have a roundtable, like a group for API developers, where Alec and Nav will actually answer your questions, or just like whatever you have in mind, or even like future requests if you want, they will be there and answer this to you. For the educational and training group, we will have Joy and Tony who will support you again for futures, but also just like for a random conversation if you want to. We have the marketing group with Holly and Liz who will support you in this channel, and also like social media and the content creators itself, like Audrey and my part will be online there, and we will answer whatever questions you have, or just like share different things, whatever we have in mind. Joshua, thank you so much for joining us today in this webinar. It was a pleasure to have you here, and then hopefully I will get you back in 25, but let's do it step by step. We have one more webinar next year with our other co-founder and CIO, Wayne. So we will speak about the latest updates here at HeyGen, because we already have some new ones, for example, video podcasts. And then we will finish this year for the webinar, and we will come back on the 9th of January. So Joshua, for me, for everyone, like really have a pleasure, like Christmas, just a nice Christmas celebration with your family, with your friends. Have a happy new year. Come like really in the best health in 25. But the last words belong to you, Joshua.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nick. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody from our community. Thanks for joining our webinar today. It's good to see everybody. Looking forward to, more.
Perfect. So keep updated in the community. Again, like be there. We will share the latest updates, but also the next events. Thank you so much. We will be there now. Have a great day and see you soon. Bye.
Yeah.